For large installations, the walkthrough detectors should be organized into one or more clusters. Each cluster will consist of one leader and multiple followers. It is recommended that a follower unit be placed within 50 feet of its leader unit. Checkpoints spanning greater distances may require multiple clusters. Use frequency offsets and a minimum distance of 10 feet between clusters to ensure proper operation. To set up the PDI unit as the follower, make sure the leader unit is already on and all follower units are off. Identify your first follower unit and turn the unit on by pushing Operate. To set up a follower unit, we're going to modify 5 menu items: sync, channel, M-filter, frequency, and line sync. To access the unit, press Access, followed by 5, 6, 7, 8. In admin mode, push Access to scroll to the Sync menu. Use the plus or minus buttons to change the menu item to follower. While in admin mode, scroll down to Channel using the Access button. Use the plus or minus buttons to change the channel to Channel 2. If you recall, our leader unit is set to Channel 1. Subsequent units in the approximate location to the leader should always be Channel 2. If the channel menu item shows dashes, change the line sync to on. This will enable the channel menu. Notice how the number appears now when line sync was changed. Next, find the M-filter. Use the Program or Access buttons to scroll up or down to find this menu item. Use the plus or minus buttons to change M-filter to off. Next, we're going to modify the frequency. Use Program or Access buttons to scroll the menu up or down. Frequency is next to M-filter, so use the Access button to scroll down to the next menu item. Notice frequency is set to all dash lines. In order to enable this menu item, line sync must be modified. Use the Access button to scroll down, modify line sync to off. Use the Program button to scroll back up to frequency. And notice the menu item has been enabled and the frequency is shown above. Use the plus or minus buttons to modify the frequency by increments of 1. Use the counter or volume button to modify by increments of 10. Make sure to use the same frequency that your leader was set to from a previous example. In our example, our frequency was set to 2190. Our leader is also set to 2190. Using a different frequency will cause interference. Finally, use the Access button to scroll down to line sync. Use the plus or minus buttons to change line sync to on. Changing line sync to on while follower is enabled means the unit will only use follower to sync with the master and not the line from the AC line. This concludes all the menu changes needed to set up a follower unit. You can exit the menu by pressing Operate. To verify your menu items, press Operate again And this concludes setting up your follower unit. To set up adjacent followers, locate the nearest walkthrough and turn the unit on. Follow all the same menu items as previously done, modifying sync, channel, M-filter, frequency, and line sync. For the subsequent follower unit, the only difference will be the channel number. Enter access mode by pressing access 5678. After all the menu items have been entered, just as before, use the access button to scroll to channel. Make sure your next follower unit is set to channel 1. This concludes setting up your second follower unit. If setting up an additional follower in the same cluster, use the same frequency and alternate the channels, 1 or 2. If your previous follower was set to channel 1, your subsequent follower should be set to channel 2. If your previous follower was set to channel 2, your subsequent follower should be set to channel 1. And this concludes setting up your follower unit.